What do you know of the living lands? The rumors and tales are so vexing, they cannot be true, and yet they are. Those untamed wilds, overgrown with the most curious wonders and the most dreadful abominations.
Everyone's been chasing the Skyrim high for over a decade, but Bethesda left a vacuum that nobody seems able to fill. Enter Obsidian Entertainment, the masterminds behind Fallout, New Vegas, dropping Avowed right into our laps. But let's be real for a second. Is this actually the first-person fantasy savior we've been praying for? Or is it just another overhyped RPG trying to play dress-up in Bethesda-esque old clothes? You played as an envoy from the idiot empire, sent to investigate a mysterious spiritual plague tearing through a wild, colorful frontier known as the Living Lands. The core gameplay loop drops you into a semi-open world where you wander from vibrant ecosystems to murky dungeons, chatting up eccentric locals, solving regional crises, and trying not to get eaten by the local flora and fauna. It channels that classic Western RPG energy where exploration feels dangerous but highly rewarding. You aren't just walking down a linear corridor. You're constantly getting sidetracked by a ruined tower on the horizon or a side quest that suddenly spirals into a 3-hour political thriller. It's all about the freedom to define your journey in a world that feels actively hostile. When you see Obsidian's name on a box, you expect a masterclass in writing. And for the most part, Avowed delivers on that choice and consequence pedigree. Reviewers and fans are heavily debating just how much your decisions actually shift the world. It's a bit of a slow burn, but the game genuinely refuses to give you easy, black and white moral choices. You will sweat over the dialogue trees. But where the game really tries to separate itself from traditional Western RPGs is the combat. It completely bends the clunky, floaty, swinging of yesteryear for a snappy, dual-wielding system. We're talking about blasting a freeze spell from your left hand while executing a heavy sword strike with your right. The fluidity here is fantastic, making old-school first-person melee feel archaic. That said, the combat isn't flawless. While mixing magic and steel feels incredibly empowering, the enemy AI can sometimes feel turning what should be a tactical skirmish into a chaotic mosh pit. The world design is also heavily stylized, bursting with neon greens and purples. It's a bold artistic choice that might turn off purists who wanted a grittier, traditional medieval aesthetic. Looking at the broader gaming community on Reddit and Twitter, the consensus is pretty clear. The biggest pro is unanimously the sheer build, variety, and companion dynamics. Gamers are loving how quickly you can pivot your playstyle on the fly without being locked into a rigid class. Plus, the banter and questlines with your companions actually make them feel like real people, not just pack mules. On the flip side, the biggest con tearing up the forums is the scale of the world. A lot of players went in expecting a massive, seamless continent like Skyrim and were let down by the smaller, interconnected zones. There's a vocal crowd claiming the boundaries feel a bit too restrictive for a modern RPG, and some lingering technical optimization issues have left a bitter taste for PC players. At the end of the day, Avowed is a brilliant, hyper-focused fantasy RPG that shines exactly where Obsidian always shines their writing, the world building, and the player agency. It might not be the literal Skyrim 2 that mainstream hype tried to pitch, but it stands incredibly tall on its own merits. It's a refreshing, deeply engaging adventure that honors the roots of Western RPG. If you can handle a slightly more contained world in exchange for deeper storytelling and an absolute blast of a combat system, it is well worth your time and money. Just don't expect a boundless, endless sandbox. It's a tightly woven tapestry of magic and political intrigue that deserves a spot on your shelf. Final rating, 8.5 out of 10.